everyone, my name is Anita Sharma and welcome back on Import Hub Media. So we all have done small little hacks to solve our daily life problems, and we call this type of small little hacks as Jugaad. Professor Jaideep Prabhu has talked about Jugaad innovation extensively in research space, and he has written 3 books around it. Interaction was done before the corona times, and I'm bringing this in front of you. He is the Jawaharlal Nehru Professor of Business and Enterprise at the Judge Business School, University of Cambridge. And before moving further, I request you all to please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Hit the bell icon for further notifications. I also request to post your queries in the comment box down below so that we can reach out to you and solve your queries. Let's welcome Professor Jaideep Prabhu and learn from him.
I really first seriously started studying it when I grew up in India. I studied undergraduate studies in India, then went to the States. I switched to business, got my PhD there. Then I taught in the States, the Netherlands, and then here in the UK. And then throughout my career, I've studied innovation and I've studied what big companies were doing in the West. So that was the first part of my career, and then around 2008 or so, I started looking at emerging markets like India, where I'd grown up. And then in India in particular, when I started talking to innovators, whether they were people like you who were more entrepreneurs or people in big companies, whether they're Indian companies or the multinationals, I realized that their approach to innovation was very different from the Western kind of corporate approach. Where in the West, innovation had always been this very expensive thing that you do in a very structured way, the technicians do it in the labs, and it's often about technology for the sake of technology. In countries like India, I realized that first of all, it's not expensive, it's very frugal. People are very good at doing more with less and using the resources they have to substitute for resources they don't have. Second, it's not so structured. There's a lot of improvisation, and that's what Jugaad is, trying out different things, whatever works. So anyway, I got very interested in this idea, and when I asked people, how they describe this approach, they would say Jugaad. And people would say it, if you ask people in villages, they would say that's how they describe it. People in cities, educated people, entrepreneurs like yourself would say, people in even multinationals, even foreigners were saying this is what we are doing in Cisco or in GE. So then my co-authors and I started to look at it seriously, like what does it mean? So we understand what it means in the context of our everyday lives, Jugaad karna, Jugaad kar lenge. Of what does it mean if you're trying to do it in a company, in an organization? And then we realized that really it is Jugaad innovation. It is innovating, creating a solution which may be a more formal solution that can be scaled and commercialized, but using some of these principles of frugality, of improvisation, of inclusion. And so we decided to write a book about it. We talked to lots of entrepreneurs from grassroots to big companies, not only in India but also other countries, because we realized that other countries also have that kind of approach, particularly in Asia and Africa, Latin America. So we wrote this book called Jugaad Innovation, where we talked to lots of companies and entrepreneurs, and we tried to extract some principles of how do they do more with less, how do they overcome challenges to develop very affordable solutions, but also be financially sustainable. And we found these 6 principles of how these innovators take adversity and make it an opportunity. They get inspired by challenging situations. And you know what I'm talking about. So necessity becomes a mother of innovation. Then they are very good at doing more with less, figuring out how they can take resources they have, which are freely available, and use them to substitute for scarce resources. Solutions are kept simple, so that helps to economize, but also helps people to adopt and scale innovation, use it, maintain it. There's a lot of lateral thinking, a lot of improvisation, as I was saying, so thinking flexibly, acting flexibly. Then including the margin, including people who are otherwise excluded, not only as beneficiaries but also part of the solution. They are people who are delivering the solution, manufacturing the product, delivering the services. And then finally, passion. People who are really passionate about solving that issue because there is something in them that helps them. So that's what we did, and then that book came out in 2012. It was very well received in India and also similar countries. Yeah, you would have seen it. And then it was translated also into other languages because other countries have similar issues and similar approaches. So the first language it was translated into was Portuguese for Brazil because Brazil has a very similar kind of set of problems and solutions. Very similar kind of economic environment, but also it was translated into Japanese, Chinese, French, Dutch, Italian. So people from around the world kind of were able to relate, and they were related to it. And then we realized there was a lot of interest in this idea of frugal innovation in the West, for the West.
Absolutely, I was about to ask that how frugal innovation is useful in the West or developed nations.
So after that book was, that Jugaad innovation book was very much about emerging markets and what can Western companies that go to those countries to operate there, learn from their local counterparts. But then we realized that, there's interest in that here in the West for the West. So we started looking at that. Why? What are the similarities, what are the differences? So one thing we realized was that in the West, particularly post-financial crisis, there are a lot of economic pressures in the West. Government budgets getting cut, household budgets getting cut. So people have become more value conscious. But also, there are some positive drivers in the West. So, when we were starting to look at this in 2012, already there was at least 1 decade of radical transformation technologically, so that small teams of people, even like our students, could do things that only the government or large companies could have done in the late 20th century. From getting the idea to developing a prototype, even a physical prototype, to actually manufacturing and selling it, can be done by a small team. And we started to see here in Cambridge our students doing these things, even without technical capabilities. So not very far from here, just about 5 or 10 minutes walk. It's a big workshop space which is called a make space. And now you have these make spaces, maker spaces, or fab labs, or tech shops. It would be a workshop space which will have all these traditional tools, lathes and so on, but also digital manufacturing tools. 3D printers, laser cutters, circuit board printers. And importantly, you have like-minded makers, thinkers, people who are technically trying out stuff, and you're doing it for fun, and you share ideas and bounce ideas off. And these become places where you can not only develop software but also hardware, the Internet of Things, But then the large companies are saying, how do we tap into this? Because we have been doing innovation for decades in a very expensive, structured, slow way, and now we have to compete with all these startups to do things faster, better, cheaper. So how can we, which is a big corporation?
Then your next book came in.
So we wrote a follow-up book called Frugal Innovation, which was very much about this in the West for the West, and how can large companies tap into this entrepreneurship in the West. And then actually this March, April, we released an update of that book for the Indian market, because we realized that since we wrote the Frugal Innovation book, which came out in 2015, the world has progressed. Countries like India are now doing some of these things. There are entrepreneurs in India, like yourself, who are not only doing Jugaad and using the Jugaad mindset, but are also taking advantage of these kind of 21st century tools. So in this updated version, we're looking at how India in particular can tap into its traditional strengths in recycling, in making, in sharing, but update them for the 21st century using some of these digital tools. And so both your examples are very good examples of that. That you're doing, you're tapping into our intrinsic ability with Jugaad, but using new tools to do that. So you're being frugal, you're being inclusive, but
So new business models are even emerging because recently I was reading about one of the cases in India which is led for people with disabilities. Now they are not entering in a traditional format of business models. So now they are building as a community-based model, which is very, very unique and very different.
I think that taps into the sharing economy.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's a massive strength because when you think about microfinance, that's microfinance model. You join pool the resources of a few women in a village, and then they become beneficiaries but also part of the solution. So
tell me more about your co-authors. Very interestingly, because I was looking at the photographs of co-authors.
Yeah. So the first book on Jugaad innovation, there were three of us, and actually we met through Cambridge because I had become the director of the Center for India and Global Research here, and I had been able to recruit Navi Raju, who became the executive director of the center. So I was the academic director, he was the executive director, and he came from Silicon Valley where he had been working for foresters and analysts. And he had been writing about innovation, but particularly about India and innovation in India. So that was a good partnership. We built the center here, and then we realized that, well, we need to go to India, we need to write about what's happening in India. And at that time, he was advising our third author, Simone Ahuja. So Simone is of Indian origin, her parents are Indian, but she grew up in the US. And she had studied to be a dentist. She was a practicing dentist, but her heart was in filmmaking and documentaries. So she taught herself documentary filmmaking, and then one of her first documentaries was on big ideas coming out of India. And she made a series on big ideas coming out of India for public broadcasting services, PBS in the US. And Navi was the advisor to her. So Navi, she and I started talking about India, big ideas. She showed us some of the interviews she had done with people like Mansukhbhai, who's from his village in Gujarat, who came up with a mitti pool. And we saw her interviews with other entrepreneurs, people like yourself from cities who are doing things in health or in renewable energy, solar lighting. And then we, took off from that. We did more interviews, and we went to companies, larger companies, startups, big multinationals, GE and so on. So that was the three of us who wrote Jugaad. Simone, was in the US. Navi and I were here, and Navi and I wrote Frugal Innovation. But Navi left and went back to Silicon Valley, and he's now a freelancer. He basically writes and talks on Frugal Innovation and leadership with them. And then this updated book was again Navi's. Meanwhile, our book came out, this updated book came out in India in March. Simone wrote a book on her own called Jugaad 3.0, which is specifically about the big company and how they can change their practices. So yeah, we've continued to write and keep in touch.
So another thing is related to Indian research scenario. How do you see how it is growing and evolving and moving towards in the international platform?
Yeah. So if you take a place like Cambridge University, what makes a place like this run are young researchers, right? People who are doing masters and PhDs and then postdocs, and then of course people who are including faculty and so on. Now, where do you think all those young researchers are going to come from? They're coming from India. So India is a strategic priority for the university. It may surprise you or may not surprise you, but it's the number one strategic partner for Cambridge University. And this will be true for many other universities. Why is it a strategic partner? Not so much because they want Indian students to come here and study undergrad or even do masters. They want the research students. And the faculty here want to work with Indian research students, particularly in engineering, sciences, but also in business and so on. So again, I think India is in a very good place. A lot of Indian students go abroad and then go back. They study here and go back. That's very good for the Indian economy. A lot of Indian faculty go on exchange programs. We host Indian faculty here.
So how do you handle the research and your lonely journey overall? Because research is assumed to be a lonely journey.
It is a lonely journey, and it was, I think, particularly lonely in the early years when, my supervisor was too busy after I finished my PhD, so I couldn't work with him. So I was very lucky that pretty early in my career, I found my PhD classmate, basically, he was 1 year junior to me. He and I just, after he had finished his PhD, both of us had jobs, both of us had finished our PhD, both of us were looking for new projects because we had more or less published our dissertation. And we just said, maybe we can do something together. And we started at that one conversation because we already knew each other, led to about 10 or 15 years of very close collaboration. We would talk every day, even though he was in the US and I was in Europe. And this was before Skype, so we had to make a phone call through the operator of the university. We would talk every day discussing 2 or 3 projects we'd be working on at the same time. And that way we just published, one good paper every year for about 10 years. That helped his career, that helped my career. We both got promoted, got chairs, got tenure. And we had kind of fun in the process because you had support, right? Emotional support. And then subsequently, I've worked a lot with my PhD students. So that's support. I see them. So it's not so lonely. And you reduce the loneliness by having
Bell
to go
icon
out
on the YouTube app and never miss another update.